Shalom Aleichem. How is everyone this Sabbath morning? Good. Everyone look bright and alert. And we're going to be clarifying to you the difference between a blessing and a provision, because many people have it confused. Because we were called, and Yeshua died, rose, and was glorified to bestow upon us blessings. Blessings that are unique and from Elohim alone. And we have to understand this so we can know what to seek in His will. Because a lot of things that we're seeking things that relate to our will. And we know from previous studies that what we are seeking in this fellowship is the will of the Father. We're not seeking the earthly riches and the earthly glory that was offered to Yeshua when Satan tempted him in the wilderness. Satan tempted Yeshua, saying, "Look, I will give you all the glories of the kingdoms of the world, because they have been given to me." So in many cases, when we have abundance in the world from a completely selfish disposition of seeking to be blessed, bless me, Father, bless me. And through these seekings, we only attain to monetary gain. That is the pride of the world. Bios. The pride of the world. The monetary gains of the world. Of capitalism. That we so feel and have been deceived into believing that such gain is progress. Well, in most instances, it is a regression. Because Yeshua came to deliver His people from sin. And we can only be delivered from sin when we understand that it is only by the blessings that proceed forth from the divine nature that we can be delivered from sin and gain dominion over the earth. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to gain dominion over the earth. We're attempting through our prayers and supplications, to our intercession, to our obedience to commandments, walking in the spirit of divine revelation, walking in the revelation of the testimony of Yeshua, who He is, what He is, and what He intends to give us if we seek Him according to His will. So we must clarify this so that we can be clear on this, so that we no longer be deceived by the Satan who offers us the glories of the kingdom and its dominions. We seek dominion over these kingdoms, over these nations, and we shall hold an iron rod to break the potter's clay. We are a spiritual revolutionary group. We don't believe in a passive spirituality, but a aggressive spirituality. Our aggression must be manifested in our prayers, seeking the good that is from Him, and not the goods that is of the world. Let this be clearly understood, that we are in the minority, because most of us are constricted by fear. It's a certain level we won't go beyond. We don't want to use words like revolutionary. We don't want to hear names like Nat Turner. We don't want to hear words like give me liberty or give me death. These are extremist words, but it is these extremists who effected an extreme agenda that got the job done. We want to get the job done. So as we emulate those extremists who got the job done, or who were killed trying to get the job done. These are the men and women whom we want to emulate, Yeshua HaMashiach being the highest level of example that we follow in our lives. I want to go to Matthew 7:11. And let's start with the 8th verse, where he says, for everyone that asketh, receiveth, and he that seeketh, findeth, and to him that knocketh, it shall be open. Or what man is there of you, whom if his son ask bread, will give him a stone? Or if he ask for a fish, will give him a serpent? If then you, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Now here in verse 11, in the English translation, it says that the Father will give you good things. So we need to understand that good, first of all, is attributed, according to the teachings of Yeshua, to the divine. Paul said that in man there is no good. That is good that is equated to the spiritual good of Elohim, which is the good that we are trying to embody and to manifest. In Matthew 19:17, when the young man approached Yeshua, he said, good master. And Yeshua replied, he said, there is none good but one, that is the Elohim. And Elohim is spirit. So Yeshua qualified good to the Elohim, and not to the flesh, to the spiritual, and not to the natural. There is none good but the Elohim. This goes along with what Paul said, that there is no good in man. That's in Romans chapter 7, that Paul said that. Check it out for yourselves. So it must be clearly understood that good, and the term good, when used in relationship to the divine, is a unique good. It is a good that cannot be accomplished by man except through the action of the divine bringing man into that good. This must be clearly understood. You don't have the power to produce good from the attributes and the abilities of your carnal nature. You can only produce good that qualifies as good in the sight of human eyes, but not in the sight of the eyes of Yahuwah, not in the sight of the eyes of the Elohim, who is spirit. Let this be perfectly understood. Elohim is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. They that seek, ask, and knock at his door must be seeking, asking, and knocking for things that are spiritual. Understand that. These are blessings, the spiritual things. All else is but provisions, and we must understand that perfectly well, or we're going to be deceived when we think because we got a good job, we've been blessed. No, you've been provided for. When you start thinking that only the natural provisions are blessings, then you have deceived yourself. You have locked the door to proper seeking and knocking and asking of the Elohim. This must be perfectly understood, or else we will fall into deception and begin seeking the things of the earth, thinking they are the blessings in which Yeshua lived, died, rose, and was glorified to give us. This is improper teaching. And those that teach it within the so-called prosperity ministries are false prophets, period. They mind the things of the earth. They are enemies of the tree of the Mashiach. Don't question it. It's written. For we seek the things that are above, where Mashiach is seated at the right hand of Elohim. Those blessings that will give us power against sin, those blessings that will bring us in glorification.